Well, good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, wherever in the world you may be. This is Roland, KC6JPG, for the Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net. Hello, and welcome to another installment of our wonderful net here each and every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Love seeing you all here. The Amateur Television Network is a series of repeaters making it possible for you, our amateur television, and you two superstars that you are, to make video communications with one another within our network coverage area. And just checking to make sure I'm recording, and I am recording. Hey, want to follow us? Want to check us out? Hey, we got our website. Check it out. Yeah. www.atn-tv.com, and you can find all kinds of different information about amateur television and the Amateur Television Network. Don't have any RF ATV equipment, but love to get started and love to check us out. Well, hey, you can participate with us right on our Whereby system, and that is on whereby.com/ATN1. And of course, we have our beautiful group that we have here. All right, group, let's go ahead and give me a big wave. There you go. You guys are on the air. You guys are just wonderful. Champions they are, because they are here every week and participate with us here on the Amateur Television Network. All right. For more information, well, I already did that. And, of course, DMR Radio, you know it's hot. It says ATN right there on the screen, and it's going to go flashy. There it is on the 426. Oh, no, it's not on 426-500. It's on the Sunset Repeater System. That's where I'm at. You got it. And we're on 3196 on the Brandmeister Talk Group. That's where we hang out most of the time. And, of course, our backup is on 224 TGIF network as well. This portion of this net is a directed net. Transmissions may be made after acknowledgement by net control, and a clear frequency always appreciated. All right, we're going to go with bulletins and announcements, and that will follow after a brief pause for any priority traffic. I'm Roland, KC6JPG, wide awake and raring to go. Your net control tonight. All right, not hearing any priority traffic at this time. We're going to go right into our president of the Amateur Television Network here in the Southwestern chapter, here Southern California and Nevada. Bringing on Tom, WB6 HYH in my own town, Rancho Cucamonga. Tom, good evening.
Hi, Roland, and everybody on the net. Yeah, I just wanted to make an announcement here that, everybody knows Mike's down in Pitcairn Island. And the day that he left, I heard the other station down there, the Expedition that's down there. And they were coming in loud and clear. And I was going to make a contact with them. And then I discovered they were operating split frequency, and I wanted to set up my radio for split frequency operation. And by the time I got it all set up, because I forgot how to do it, it had been so long, I had to look it up in the book, got it all set up. And by the time I did, they went off the air. And it was in the evening of the day that on the 15th there when Mike was on his way. So I figured, okay, I'll catch him the next day. Well, you know what? Every day since then, including today, they have not been on single sideband. The bands have been absolutely bad. There's hardly any stations on any of the bands. The propagation is really, really bad. And I keep watching them on the DX cluster, and the only thing that they're operating is FT8. They're operating FT8 and on 17, 17 meters, 24 meters, but and some of the other regular bands, but hasn't been so good. So I don't think we're going to hear from Mike tonight like we were hoping. So I just wanted to make that announcement, and if anybody's was anxious to hopefully hear Mike tonight, and I know he was, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm still monitoring it. I've got the radio turned on over here, and trying to watch the DX cluster and see what frequency they're on, but no sideband. It's all just FT8. So back to you, Roland. WB6 HYH.
WB6HYH, KC6JPG. Well, thank you very much, Tom, for the report of Mike and his journey to Pitcairn Island. And I'm sorry about the band conditions. That's, oh, man. Well, we'll definitely pray to the RF gods out there and hoping that Mike will have a great experience once he gets onto the island and gets things set up. And hopefully during his time up there, the propagation will get much better. To hear from him on HF. So very good, Tom. Thank you very much for that great report. I'm going to pass it to RF. Any stations that'd like to announce any bulletins or traffic on the RF side come in at this time. KC6 JPG Net Control. All right, we're going to go right into check-ins, and that's because we have a full house tonight, and we're going to have a great time here. So we're going to start with Mount Wilson, and let's go ahead. And any Mount Wilson ATVers out there that like to check in with the Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net, hey, come in at this time. KC6JPG, Net Control. KD6 NIZ, KC6 JPG, lots of tiling, and probably got just one or two words from you, my friend. Ron, thank you very much for checking in with us. Appreciate it. Oh, message to Tom from Keith. Check your phone. All right. Any more check-ins? How about Steve out there in Ventura? W86EJO. All right. Any other check-ins on Mount Wilson? I'd like to check in with the Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net. Come in at this time. KC6JPG, Net Control. All right. Let's go to Snow Peak. That's serving the lower desert areas of Palm Springs and, of course, the upper desert areas of Yucca Valley and beyond. So let's check in Earl, KJ6DQR, and Julie, KJ6FYY, Cathedral City.
If you ever that person that tried to integrate band changing and everything in
Well,
your amplifiers or
hello everybody.
you know that the
Earl here in the Cathedral City Cove. I'm trying to wrestle two meetings at the same time here. That's why I hear that background from the computer. Yeah, there's the boss giving me a hard time again. Anyway, hope everybody's well. Hope Mike's having a good time. And,
Froze up.
you know what now?
He froze up for a second.
And the receive here, we're having
Hey, you're in.
issues. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great week. And we'll see you later. KJ6DQR.
KJ6DQR, KJ6FYY, KC6JPG. I love it. I'll tell you, the guys are just doing fantastic. Thank you very much for checking in. And looks like you're preparing for field day with your radio club. So, hey, the very, very best in that. And, yeah, definitely take some fans and misters. Hopefully that will not drip water on equipment. Something to keep you stay cool because, like you mentioned, it's going to be 100 plus over there in Palm Springs area. So, well, we wish you the very best and have a lot of fun during field day because I definitely enjoy being on the outdoors. So, looking forward to seeing you on the air. Thank you very, very much, Earl and Julie. Great job, always. All right, let's go to Keith over in Yucca Valley, N6GKB.
Come on, you can do it. Get in there. Oh, they are. All right. Yeah, we're getting ready for field day up here. Getting my truck loaded down with gear and antennas and masts, coax, and you name it. Anyhow, yeah, we got a big crew going to be helping me set up Friday and lots of food and nice air conditioned building. We're not going to go outside and do that crazy stuff, even though it's only going to be the low to mid 90s up here. In fact, today I only got to be 88. Right now it's 77. So the double digits numbers are hitting us really nicely. And it gets down to about 65 tonight. So, yeah, not bad. I can live with this. But it says about starting Sunday after field day's over. Now, by Monday or Tuesday, we have a chance of hitting triple digit. We'll see what happens next week. But so far, it's been a nice cool breeze, or especially right now since the sun's going down. So, yeah, that's our weather conditions for field day report. And let's see, I think that's about it. Yeah. See you guys on next week after the chaos. I hope the bands open back up, because as Tom was mentioning, last weekend we had 6 meters open, and God, a lot of HF. I was talking all over the place. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I hope the atmospheric gods do open up for the weekend. It'll be great. So, anyhow, hear y'all later. Hopefully, over the airways the weekend. N6GKB, Yucca Valley.
N6GKB, KC6JPG. Very good, Keith. Thank you so much for checking in. And we will definitely do a cross of the fingers for great propagation for field day. So summer is coming. Summer in the Northern Hemisphere. You got it. That's tomorrow. So, and hang on, longest day of the year. So, you guys are going to enjoy the wonderful sunshine out there. Hopefully the sunspot activity will be great. So this way 15 and 10 meters will be hot too. Very good, Keith. Thank you so much for checking in. Always great seeing you. Great signal tonight, too. All right. Anyone else on Snow Peak that'd like to check in with the Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net? Come in at this time. KC6 JPG Net Control. All right, we're going to go to Oat Mountain, serving the northwest part of the LA Basin area, and that's including the San Fernando Valley, Simi Valley, Santa Clarita Valley, and parts of Ventura County. Then let's go ahead and let's check in Alan, W6IST, Porter Ranch.
Hey, good evening, Roland and Annette. It's Alan here at Porter Ranch, where we had like my signal was losing for a while. Anyway, had a beautiful day here today. It was in the upper 70s and really nice. Picture coming down is pretty good. Oops, I'm losing this somewhere. There must be some interference on here. Anyway, Roland, back to you. Good to see you. This is one of the nights your picture and audio are my picture disappears every once in a while. Anyway, 73 everyone. This is W6IST, Porter Ranch.
W6IST, KC6JPG. Without that digital interference in there and that little bit of radar, I say your picture was wonderful. It's probably the best picture I've ever seen from you. It was color, there was no snow at all, and great audio. So, Alan, you got it right. I love it. Perfect. Thank you very much for checking in. Let's go to the western side of Simi Valley. And that's, of course, where the Reagan Library is located. W6KGE, Bob.
Hi guys, W6KGE. Well, we're very fortunate this evening. We've got a really great link. You can see we have some local interference here, but otherwise terrific. Good job, everybody. And we wish the best to Mike and his efforts. We're anxious to see how all that turns out, and thanks so much for the info and the input as to what the heck is happening with Mike. Can't think of anything else exciting happening here. Everything's been good. And we hope to see Glenn this evening. W6KGE.
W6KGE, KC6JPG. Well, very good, Bob. Thank you so much for checking in. And yes, we're going to keep our fingers crossed and hoping that we will hear Mike. And if he does, Tom, if you hear him, please let me know. We'll go on Whereby. We'll record it. Or you can record it. You let me know. We got to capture this historical moment. Very good, Bob. Thank you very much for checking in. And speaking of Glenn, that's exactly where we're going to go. We're going to the east side of Simi Valley, and that's where all the rocks are at. Glenn, WA6GMV. Come on in, my friend.
Good evening, all, from the east side. The good weather here today, beautiful, moving towards summer, and I started to see a lot of interference on my signal. I'd like to get the picture back to the quality I had when I bailed out, but I don't know where to go from there. Anyway, 73 all you, and have a good evening.
WA6GMB, KC6JPG. Well, very good, Glenn. I'll tell you, without that local interference in there, your picture was coming in color. And so, and of course, when that digital interference was coming in, it was, making you roll and taking you out a little bit. But once it stopped, your picture was perfect. So you did it right, too. We just got to hunt down that interference. A hunt and we will go a hunt. What's happening to a good old fox hunt? We have to have an ATV fox hunt and hunt down those signals. Very good, Glenn. Thank you very much for checking in. All right. Anyone else on Oak Mountain that'd like to check in with the Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net? Come in at this time. KC6 JPG Net Control. All right, moving on to Santiago Peak, the hub of the Amateur Television Network system here in the Southern California and Nevada areas. And we're going to start off with the man himself, and that's Gordon West, WB6 NOA, Costa Mesa.
And a good, hold on, stand by. All right, well, I'm sorry about all the lines. But all is well in Costa Mesa. We're getting ready for Field Day. And we encourage all of you, if you get an opportunity, come up on 146.52 or 55 or 58 here in Southern California, Orange County, and try and work via 6 Zulu Echo. That's the Orange County Amateur Radio Club. That's where I'll be on that Saturday. And we are living the station of Chip Margelli, K7JA. Unfortunately, a silent key just days before his favorite field day. But we'll have his favorite equipment on the air. So I hope you'll work me and think of Chip, K7JA, up there And we look forward to calling all of you at Field Day. And again, Simplex 146.550 is likely where you'll hear me. Everybody have a great field day. Be safe, and we'll catch you down the log. Rolling back to you, WB6NOA.
WB6NOA, KC6JPG. Gordo, looking forward to it. Sounds great. 146.55. I'll definitely get out my HT, and of course, we will see we can definitely work you. So that would be really fun. Excellent. I think it's going to be an excellent field day for everyone. So it looks like it's going to be fantastic weather here in Southern California. So very good. John over in North Carolina, he's planning on participating field day. We're going to hear his report, but they're predicting rain over there. So it's going to be very interesting. So we're going to get John momentarily when we go to our online community. Gordo, thank you very much for checking in. And other than the interference, you're looking great. Appreciate you coming in. All right, let's go to Riverside and let's check in our buddy Norm, KD6 OMV. Norm, come on in, my friend. All right, time to go high above into the mountains, and we're going to Running Springs, and that is our buddy Gary is at W6KVC, and boy, let me tell you, we're looking forward to seeing some of the fantastic pictures that you have taken in Oregon. So Gary, it's all yours. Come on in, my friend.
I think everybody needs to get rid of analog and go digital, on 70 centimeters, because you and I have a perfect picture. Everybody I saw on 70 centimeters, Oak Mountain is getting that interference, whatever it is. But I just got back from Oregon. Okay. My mouse here, I think I found out why my screen goes black. My computer times out so I got to go in there and find out where the timer is. Bring it back. Anyhow, I went to CPAC, which is Seaside, Oregon. Little Ham Convention. Well, there was 4 major vendors there, ICOM. And Elecraft and SDR radio, and then of course the vendors, and then there was a nice flea market inside the big auditorium there, that the convention hall. So well, let's see here if I can make my telephone work. It's been kind of touchy. Hang on. Telephone. It's got a mind of its own.
Boy, talk about a fade of black moment. There we go. Now we got some video.
Well, we had video. There it is. Ray and I had a nice reunion. Okay, quit that and whatever, because he and I are very good friends. All right. I don't know what's going on with my phone. Well, this may not work. Try it one more. Well, I'm not talking, so don't worry about it. All right. Ray Novak is a very good friend of mine. Got to play with 905 and answer questions about it. Josh here, and Josh brought it up to Mike and I, and we did quite a few testing on it. I don't know what in the world is going on, why it keeps blanking out on me. So I don't know if my pictures are going to work. So there's the 905 and the 705. I talked to HRO to see if they had any in stock. They won't have any in stock until August or September. The first batch is long gone. Well, still got black pictures out of this thing. This thing is not working. So pictures here, because it's always worked in the past, are not going through my switcher. But there was quite a few booths. I ran into some friends from Quartzsite to come out, and we had a visit. Saw Randy, which is in Oregon. He's always at Quartzsite and takes video. Randy's a good friend, and he's also on Ham Nation quite frequently, one of his adventures. And met a few others there while we were at CPAC. Then my brother and I got the boat ready and went camping out at Lake Wickiup near Lapine, Oregon. Spent 10 days out there. Fishing was lousy, but we rode our quads and went boating, went fishing, and had a good time. Friends while we were there. Did some whereby from out there. The signal was good enough to get in on a few contacts. And then we, a couple other friends, and then I also was on HF making a few contacts. Well, so I had a lot of fun. Got back Sunday afternoon, and time for a Father's Day get together with a friend of mine and talk to my kids, and I may be hightailing it to Colorado, so I got issues over there with my daughter, so I may be gone here real quick. It's a medical emergency. So back to you, Roland, W6KBC.
W6KVC, KC6JPG. Well, very good, Gareth. Thank you very much for coming in. And I know some of the, I saw some of the pictures that you were showing, and they look great. But for some reason, they would go to black and then have pictures, and go to black and then go to pictures. I wonder, you have DMCA encoded in those pictures? Digital Copyright Act. DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Anyway. Thank you very much for showing that, and especially Ray Novak and the IC905. Like I said, that's going to be a game-changer radio. And, of course, I'm bated breath right now because I just sent Rod not only the specs on the digital transmitter, but also looking forward to seeing that IC905 into the repeater system. We'll get that on video and recorded, too. You got it. Gary, thank you very, very much for coming back and checking in with us. We really appreciate it. All right, moving forward, let's go back to Tom for official check-in. WB6HYH, Rancho Cucamonga.
And here's WB6HYH. And Gary, I don't know. Digital still... Even on your signal there, it was a little pixely, so I don't see any pixels on my signal. It looks okay to me. Anyhow, just had to get that stab in there, Yeah, not too much happening around here. No big radio events this last weekend. I know I've got the big one coming up this weekend, and kind of wish I was going to be able to do that, but We got other plans, unfortunately. So, hi Keith. I know you say you want me to come over there. I wish I could. I'm going to plan for it next year. Okay. Next year we'll make plans, and I'll be there. So, unless something comes up. Anyhow, let's see. Yeah, the only thing I've been doing is monitoring the bands, looking at the DX cluster there, trying to see where, yeah, Dulce Island is the DXpedition down there, and it's really close to where Mike's at. It's a VP6 Alpha, Victor Papa 6 Alpha, and Mike is Victor Papa 6, Mike Hollis, MC, and I was really, I heard him the first night when Mike left. The signal, he was coming in here booming loud and clear, and there was a ton of people calling. And I usually don't have any problem getting through the pileups. I just have a nice station, I guess, and I can usually get through pretty good. The Heil mic just works outstandingly getting through pileups. But anyways, ever since that one night, I haven't heard them on the air, haven't seen them on the DX cluster listed anywhere as being on the air other than FT8. They seem to be doing a lot of FT8 on different bands, but that's it. No single sideband operations that I can see or hear. And I've been listening on the bands too, just monitoring, and there's hardly any signals. I hear one or two signals on all the bands, 10, 15, 20, 40. They're all dead. I don't know what's going on, but they're deader than a doornail. And hate to see that, and I hope it doesn't go through this weekend. You can't have a dead bands on field day, so we'll see what happens there. But anyhow, that's about all here. Just been working in my workshop. Got my garage all cleaned up and everything a few weeks ago, and with my son and his wife and grandson and my daughter-in-law's sister. We all got out there and cleaned that garage out, man. It's looking nice. Well, it was looking nice. Now I got all my stuff in my workshop in the garage, and got it all cleaned out, and now starting to reorganize everything in my workshop. It was fairly decent organized at one time, so it's just getting it back to that stage now, and trying to get everything put away, put nice, get the garage back in nice clean order, and then maybe I can rest it for a while. But other than that, that's about it. See, nothing else happening that I can think of right now. And definitely, if I hear Mike on the air, I'll record it, and at least our conversation, hopefully, and I'll have that we can play over the net next week if it happens. So we're keeping an eye out, and sure hoping that we can get a hold of him. It would be nice. So with that, we'll say 73's to all, and take care. Have a great field day for everybody that's going to be doing field day. And I might try to get in here and make a few contacts. We'll see what happens. So with that, back to you, Roland. WB6HYH, Rancho Cucamonga.
WB6HYH, KC6JPG. Fantastic, Tom. Thank you so much for checking in with us. And yeah, try to get in there if you can on, get on your HF and work field day for a little bit if you can. That, be a lot of fun. I'm tempted too, but I'm hoping to at least go to a couple of sites on a video camera and do some video recording and bring some back on the Tuesday net for next week. And of course, for those of you who are going to field day, I encourage you to bring your camcorders with you, and take some video of your setups and your operations as well, and definitely show and tell for next week as we review Field Day 2023. Thank you, Tom, for checking in with us, and thank you very much for all that you do as president of the Amateur Television Network. Fantastic. All right. Anyone else on Santiago Peak that'd like to check in with the Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net? Come in at this time. KC6 JPG Net Control. All right, let's continue with the Inland Empire, and let's go to Job's Peak. Job's Peak check-ins come in at this time. KC6 JPG Net Control. All right, we go to Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara repeater check-ins come in at this time. I still cross my fingers. KC6 JPG. Maybe it's an IC 905. Come in at this time. All right. We go to Nevada, Mount Potosi, and that's where Dennis is at. You got it, my friend. KA7HQP in Las Vegas. Dennis, great to see you tonight.
Yeah, thank you. And 92 degrees in Vegas. I think relative humidity was 4%, which is perfect because the swamp cooler in the ham shack is working great. Got a piece of mail today. This is funny. As Vegas is building all these arenas and stadiums and all these groups are coming to town, all of a sudden we get this in the mail. And this is the VGT, which is the North Las Vegas Airport, which is not far from my QTH, probably a mile. They're going to do a major master plan upgrade. Apparently all these private planes that all these team players and groups come in on, they can't use McCarran because heaven forbid they should use commercial airlines. They're overwhelming the Henderson General Aviation Airport as well as the North Las Vegas General Aviation Airport. So I can imagine the first meeting regarding this is June 28th, and I can imagine how many millions of dollars the county and state are going to want to do with playing with the airports around Vegas. But otherwise, yesterday was breezy. Today, not so breezy at all. We were out there with the cat and sitting out with the cat watching the pigeons. Cindy likes to feed the pigeons. And boy, they get aggressive. You know, don't ever feed pigeons. Once you start feeding them, they get wind of you and they come and visit you. In fact, we have one that comes all the way up to our kitchen window. It sits on top of the barbecue out there and looks in for us. So, yeah, don't feed pigeons. It's not a good idea. Plus, they poop all over the place. You really don't need to deal with that. Otherwise, everything's good in Vegas. Again, if you want to check for 10-meter operation, throw a scanner on the repeater outputs. And when 10 meters is open, you'll get some signals from across the country. I do regularly with a rubber duck on my my Bearcat BC200. It's a little tiny rubber duck, and New York will start singing in here. That's all I've got. Back to rolling in the net. This is KA7HQP.
KA7HQP, KC6JPG. Dennis, great job. Thank you so much for checking in with us. Well, okay, no audio. Yep, you're right, no audio. Sorry about that. KA7HQP, KC6JPG. Well, very good, Dennis. Well, thank you very, very much for checking in with us tonight. Hey, thank you very much for letting us know about 10 meters. Yes, seems to be opening up. That's wonderful news. Sounds like you're having mild weather over there in Las Vegas. So very, very good, my friend. Thank you for checking in with us. Beautiful. All right, let's go to our chapter stations now. And we're going to go east. Yes, we're making our way east. And let's go to New York this time. And let's check in our buddy Emmanuel. Let's see if we can wake him up. To MJF. And Emmanuel, I hope that you're actually hearing me, my friend. And you're on the air to everywhere, my friend. Poor guy.
Too many straitjackets.
I think you're right. So much activity is going on in New York. A lot of activity. Well, we'll try it again. Manual N2 MJF KC6 JPG. We got a wonderful shot of you taking it easy.
You know, start doing him earlier.
Yeah, it's late over here. It's 11:12.
You need to put you first on the list.
Yeah. Well, same usual thing in New York. Listening to the cops. They're chasing suspects. A couple of people got robbed. The same thing in New York City happen all the time here. I like what Gary said. You wouldn't even want to come and visit New York. So tomorrow's the first day of summer, and we still got cool weather here. Back to you, Roland.
M2 MJF KC6 JPG. Very good, Manuel. Thank you so much for checking in with us tonight. You're looking great. I'll tell you, your cam is very, very sharp tonight. Looking great. Thank you very much for checking in with us. Excellent. All right, let's go to North Carolina, and that's where our buddy John is at, AF7PA, and looks like he's looking forward to field day. And John, take it away, my friend. How's it going over there in North Carolina?
For probably 2 hours now. 68 degrees and cloudy is the official forecast, but I think it's still dripping in the water can out by the front door. Fires, by golly, we still got our fire in North Carolina. I'll show you all this activity, and then I got a question here, I think. Let's see, continue with screen. I probably need one of these and one of these, and there. Yep, there it is. Okay, there's I am, and there's the official North Carolina fire. But we don't compete with all this up here. But we got a lot of activity down here, and I was just curious where our man in the islands is, since we can't get him on RF, HF. What island do you think he's on?
You got to go the other way, my
really
friend. You got to go west of the North America and South America. There you go.
So,
Keep going.
Guess we'll just have to continue listening to the radio. So anyway, that's it from this side of the country. What's going on in your yard? AF7PA. Back to that.
Hey, John, he should be on a ship now between Tahiti and Pitcairn Island.
I don't know where that's at.
AF7PA KC6JPG. You gotta go west of North America and then go south. So go west. There you go. Go west. There you go. There you go. And now go down, and then you should be able to see Pitcairn or Henderson Islands somewhere in that chain. Okay. Up. Go west. Okay. So there you go. See those little earthquake symbols over there on the east side? So zoom in on that. Uh-huh. There you go. There you go. There you go. And now go east a little bit. There you go. And there should be some little islands down there. Exactly. And then keep zooming in. That's right. French Polynesia. That's exactly where you want to go. And of course, what's the capital of the island? Adamtown or something like that? Yes. Well, it looks like John's doing a pretty good job on trying to find it here. Obviously, in regards to time zones and reflection with Southern California, with LA area, they are -8 UTC. So you can kind of get a bearing on the time zone in reflection of Southern California. So basically just due south and then a little bit west on the Southern Hemisphere in the South Pacific. And then if you find French Polynesia, you'll be able to find it.
To the right yet?
Yes, it is to the right. So up right there, Pitcairn is to your right is Pitcairn.
Right here.
Right there.
There you go. There you go. Zoom in.
In that circle right there.
It's sunk. John sunk the island.
It's hiding from us.
Well, I don't know whose radar that's on, if anybody's. I think that's, it's got to be on somebody's radar. But I can't go out any further. Or software.
You might be using quite a bit of CPU power, so with all the motions that's going with the weather. Well, we definitely appreciate the show and tell there, John. This is terrific. But you can see that the weather is definitely snaking around Pitcairn Island. So, and Pitcairn always has mild temperatures and very mild rainfall. So,
I see Wolf down there. You got better software? Can you see out of the country, Wolf?
Okay, well, let's go ahead and continue with our check-ins. So, John, thank you so much, my friend, for checking in with us. And now we're going to go to Massachusetts, and we're going to go to Stephen now. KC1. There he is, KC1 LPZ over there in Massachusetts, and he's getting ready to go to Crow Island for field day. And Stephen, it's great to see you tonight.
Good seeing you, Roland, and good seeing all the familiar faces here. Good pictures from the RF side, really, very impressive. As far as Crow Island, I am planning on going there, but the weather may make it very difficult because we're expecting some rain and high humidity, only in the mid to high 80s, so the temperature isn't the problem, but the humidity. And if it rains on Crow Island, I'm going to need scuba gear. I mean, I would rather take my scuba gear to the ocean, not on Crow Island. So I may have to have a contingency plan in Oakham, Massachusetts, which is northwest of Worcester. Some of you folks might pronounce it Worcester, but it's pronounced Worcester, which is about 30 miles away from Framingham. So I'm hoping I can be on Crow Island, but I don't know yet. We'll see what the weather brings. KC1 LPZ, back over to you, Roland, and the rest of the net.
KC1 LPZ, KC6 JPG. Very good, Stephen. Well, we will definitely do this because not only is predicting to rain in your area, but the Race Across America, the big bicycle race, which is called the most toughest single stage bike race in the world. Once you start in Oceanside, the clock does not stop. The leader right now, which is Isa Pulver, she's from Switzerland. She's making her way through Indiana and coming towards into Virginia. So, she's looks like about to finish this thing in record time, so she's doing great. Anyway, but the weather is definitely going to be playing a part on that, and of course playing a part on field day in the East Coast area. You guys getting a lot of weather from the East Coast all the way down into Florida, and you know what? That's where Wolf is at, and we're going to check him in momentarily. But Stephen, thank you so much for checking in with us. Always looking great on camera, and we really appreciate you guys. And I hope you had a wonderful Father's Day too. So I think you had a great time. All right, we're going to go to Florida, and that's where our net control of the Florida chapter is at, and that's Wolfgang KV4 ATV. And, of course, Wolf, I'll tell you, we've been sharing a lot of information lately about the what we call the Gulf Belt Tornado Alley. That's basically been very, very active. So, Wolf, turning it over to you. KC6 JPG, net control.
Roger that, rolling. Yeah, we've been having it hard down here. In fact, Reed Timmer's been down in the area and stuff. We've been having a lot of tornadic activity down here, watching stuff coming off the coast of Africa headed our way, forming up stuff. What may be Tropical Storm Brett, or as we call it, the Tropical Storm Brat. Anyway, we've had that. Some flash flooding and stuff, had a couple of bad lightning strikes. In fact, we got hit here. Still assessing to see what happened. And thanks to Roland, we made a very a good step, what he calls a small step into a very big world. Thanks to Roland, I am now on the Arden net out here and linked into one station. We're working on that, so we've got that working on. Me and Ron and Kim went over to the training and stuff with Mark Wolf from the NWS Tallahassee office. They went through the training and stuff. It's a refresher for me for the third time for the Skywarn, and they're going to be doing an advanced class, so I'll be attending that for my second time, and I think Ron and maybe Tim may attend that one and stuff. So it's going to be a little bit, high pitch and high speed for them. So anyhow, we're still working on our new GR2 analysis 3 software, and that's turning out real well, as you can see in the background, bringing up 3D and stuff of tornadoes and hail and etc. So our meteorology is definitely being put into play this year, Roland, over here, so that we can try to keep the public informed. So anyway, that's about what we got going over here. And sorry if my audio is a little bit low, but anyhow, that's what we got rolling over here in Florida and stuff. So I'll let you switch it over to Ron and see what's going on. KV4 ATV, Florida Control. Back to you, Ron.
KV4ATV, KC6JPG. Very good, Wolf. Thank you very much for all that you do. And I'll tell you, it's definitely been a very interesting weather pattern so far. We're just getting into hurricane season, so it's going to be very interesting out there this year. So, Wolf, thank you very much for all that you do and keeping the public informed. You got it. All right, let's continue on with our Florida chapter, and that's where Ron is at, KK4YZE. Ron, it's great to see you tonight, my friend, and I'll tell you, I don't know if you're experiencing the weather that Wolf is experiencing, but let me tell you, it is something else, because as you all heard, Wolf Station got direct hit on a lightning strike, and hopefully everything is okay on your end. Right to you, Ron, KC6JPG.
Half a mile from where he lives, and I live about 3 or 4 miles from where he is. So I'm aware of everything that goes on. He calls me directly as soon as things happen. One of the bad things with all this weather is that we're going to be saturated when a hurricane, if and when a hurricane comes. So I'm hoping that with all the pressures from the north are coming down, and a lot of prayer that we can have fewer and fewer hurricanes. We're still getting a lot of water, and we're filling up our little bay area reservoirs. So it's going to be interesting. We even had a bad windstorm the other night, and it was Thursday night, and a tree across from the apartments that I'm living in, it was a pine tree that blew down, and they finally got it off the road yesterday evening about 5:30. So it was there for a couple of days, and it was laying on power lines too. I was going to take a picture of it, but by the time I got there, they already had the trucks there removing it. So Wolf had advised to get a picture, and I thought it was a good idea. But by the time I got there, it was too late. So don't put off what you could do today or tomorrow. My house is still a mess, and I go by how windy it is by how much of my roof is on the ground. So Friday morning and then Saturday morning, I noticed there was more and more of my shingles and the blue tarp pieces on the ground again. So that's when I know how bad the storm is. Plus the little pools of water on the floor in my house that happened to sneak in where the holes are. So we're still waiting to get our house repaired. So playing that game. So that's all I have. Wish the best for you, all you guys, for the week. So it's KK4YZE signing out.
KK4YZE, KC6JPG. Very good, Ron. Well, thank you so much for checking in with us as well, and appreciate your service. And hopefully not too wet out there on your end. So thank you very much for checking in with us. You really appreciate you and Wolf. And as a matter of fact, look like Wolf wants to get back. He has an announcement to make. So let's go ahead and go back to Wolfgang, KV4ATV. Wolf, it's all yours, my friend.
Okay, I just wanted to say I did make a slight advancement and stuff now with NWS. I am now written in over there at their office as a freelance meteorologist. So I made it up the ladder that far after all these years. I'm now considered one of their meteorologists as a freelance meteorologist. Whatever that means, I don't know that. And what, $1.25 down at the Waffle House might get me a cup of coffee.
Good for you.
Well, congratulations, Wolf, and that's not easy being not just a volunteer meteorologist, in doing the greater good, but being accepted into freelance meteorology and meteorologist with the NWS. That's terrific, and congratulations to you. That's hard work, well paid off. So thank you very much for that. All right, we're going to continue to Arizona. And that is where our buddy Mark is at, and we'd just love to see him checking in with us, and that's KD7PHW in Mesa, Arizona. Mark, it's great to see you tonight, my friend. Welcome to the Amateur Television Network.
Thank you. And the good news is I'm looking forward to do more amateur television networking endeavors. And Rod Fritz has been very fortuitous and instrumental in helping me do that. He's allowing me to borrow some more equipment. And it looks like my mesh networking dish finally came in. I have to unpack it. And then from Rod and some other gents, I need help flashing it. But I want to use either a software-defined radio stick, something around 400 megahertz or 1.2 gigs, maybe 4 gigs, and get on the air with old analog and maybe digital. And I did buy some digital pods during the last meeting at Rod's house, and hopefully I'll get some help getting those going and on my network. Over to the club. Thank you.
KD7PHW, KC6JPG, net control. Very good, Mark. Well, I'll tell you, you're just touching the tip of the iceberg when it comes to networking, digital networking, alternative networking, ham networking. And let me tell you, when all systems are down, when all resources are down, when all utilities are down, and you cannot make a connection into the commercial internet, guess where it happens? Amateur radio. And we're not amateur. We are professionals out there, network engineers, video engineers, radio engineers, electronic engineers, and everyone that just loves this hobby of all walks of life. And we love to see this talent pool that we have, especially within our amateur television community. This talent pool just comes together and just shares and programs and codes and everything like that. Just like, you know what I did for Wolf. You know, we found him a really cool hap and he needed help to program it. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? Let's just swap it. I'm going to program you one of my haps here for you, swap it, bring the other one to me. You got it. And we'll program the other one up for the next person that needs, he wants to get on the Arden network or the alternative networking for like our own internet, but it's ham networking, known as mesh networking. So, Mark, you betcha. You betcha. Thank you so much for checking in with us tonight. I love it. All right, continuing on with the Mesa side, and that's where our buddy Rod is at. WB9 KMO in Mesa, Arizona, and it looks like I got a white brick wall, but it looks like he's going to come right through it. Rod, take it away.
Come on. There we go. Yeah, follow the bouncing ball. My camera apparently has the iris closed. And the only thing you can see is very bright lights, and those are the lights on the ceiling. The brick wall is just the background to prove that I'm actually here. And wonderful camera. I don't know why it doesn't work right now. Anyway, yeah, I'm doing a million different things here. Getting ready for field day coming up. I'm trying to figure out a way to contact Mike, but since no one else has contacted him, I don't feel like I'm left out in the cold yet. I'm trying to get a hold of some of my buddies who have good HF stations, and everybody's really busy. I don't understand. Some people work during the day. That evades me. But in the evening, they should be wanting to contact Pitcairn Island, I would think, especially to get a fancy QSL card. So let's see. So I'm trying to get this camera to work. I have another camera in the room, but this one is USB, and actually, so I've got a variety of problems with various transmitters and cameras, and I have some cameras working, some transmitters working, but the pairs don't work. In any given pair, either a camera or the transmitter's not working right. Thank you for the information about the settings for the HV102. I was, if I had this camera working, I would be putting those in right now and being on the air with that. So that'll be a good thing. I don't know if you're monitoring, if any of you are monitoring the repeater here on White Tank. You can see me now. This is Rod, WB9 KMO, officially using my IC905 on 5712 to transmit through White Tank. And I'm using 1.5 watts. I can boost it up to 2. It gets rid of some of the snow. But in case I want a long transmission, I tweaked it down to 1.5. And it's going through about 3 dB loss in coax before it gets to the dish. If I could eliminate that loss, I'd have a much better signal. A few dB makes a big difference on this frequency. So anyway, I'm into the repeater. I have a P5 signal with the 434 digital, but it doesn't like the configuration that I'm sending in. So I see a nice noise-free black raster, kind of just like what I've got here with the camera on Whereby. So I don't know what the deal is here. I've got plenty of light. I think some of my stuff is getting old in the tooth and it's starting to break down. And I have so much stuff, I can't keep up with fixing everything, much less getting new things working. So anyway. That's about all I've got for now. I'll stick around for a while. I'm working on about 4 different things. Trying to focus on this camera right now so I get the darn thing working. I should probably just go in the other room and grab another one. But You know, there's a button on it too, and theoretically, there should be a button that closes the iris and opens the iris, but it's not working. So I'm trying to download the control program for it, and maybe that will help me out. Okay, enough craziness for now. Back to you. This is Rod, WB9 KMO.
WB9 KMO, KC6 JPG. Well, Rod, sounds like you're getting things happening, and I'll tell you, hearing your QSO with a nice white brick wall, and made me think of a certain Pink Floyd song. Anyway, but the black raster, that usually indicates that the receiver up on the hill is stuck either on H.264 or MPEG-2. And so what needs to be done is, and it worked for Bob, N6AZV, when he had problems, just get on the get-go of when we get started on digital, we flip it over to the other mode. So if you're on MPEG-2, flip it over to H.264 to see if you can wake up the receiver and see if you can see your picture. And if you do, then flip it back over to MPEG-2, and it should flip back. So hopefully that would work. It works. It didn't work. Okay. It was worth a try. So, very good.
Should be power cycled up there. I think Ed is the only one in town who has a 434 that works. So I've got to talk him into getting on the air.
Okay. Sounds good, Rod. Okay.
Seem to be working fine.
Okay. Well, very, very good. All right. Well, worth a try. So, well, best of luck. Hopefully, we'll get into the digital side of the repeater. That would be great, because then your picture will be P5 perfect. So, excellent. Thank you so much, Rod, for checking in and, of course, giving us the report on the IC905 progress, as well as digital, and as well as it's interesting that how cameras like to close their eyes at net time. Continuing with Arizona. We're going to go to our neck control of the Arizona chapter, and of course that is Lee, K0CCU out there in Glendale, Arizona. Lee, it's great to see you tonight, my friend. How's everything in Arizona tonight?
Well, good evening, Net, K0CCU Lee, and in Glendale, Arizona, trying to get things work here. I found out that I got all my antennas are in trouble. My cut in the coax going out to it looks like I hit it with a lawnmower. And then my wire antenna, it's working barely. So we'll see how things come out. It's that's typical of the way it is, It usually waits until field day for all those things to happen. But now I got a little chance to fix them. Hopefully. I can get it fixed so I can talk to Mike. Anyway, I got in here late, so I don't know what's happening, and if anything, if Tom is WB6HYH has heard anything from him. But anyway, I want to hold it up. Back to you, Roland. KC6JPG in the net, K0CCU Lee in Glendale.
K0CCU, KC6JPG. Very good, Lee. Thank you so much for checking in. And I'll tell you, I was up in Arizona visiting my young son and his beautiful girlfriend, and basically helped him move from Tempe because they raised the rent on the apartments. And he says, we're out of here. And he went to Gilbert. So there you go. We love it. And he loves Arizona. So looks like we're going to be visiting him a lot more. And I'm hoping next trip I will be visiting you all too, because I really miss you guys. So it's just been a real busy weekend, and of course with the move, and of course Father's Day the next day, and of course we have to leave by 1 o'clock in order to make it back on time, and of course hitting that incoming traffic as well. So very good. So hopefully next trip I'll definitely visit Rod and you and everyone else. It'd be great if I can do it on the first Saturday on the month, and I can check out Rod's MeshNet, or the mesh workshop, because I love that stuff. Very good. Thank you again, Lee. Appreciate you. All right, Northern California, and that is where Mount Diablo is at, and that is where our buddy Jim is at. He's the net control of the Mount Diablo amateur repeater. But, of course, he's sharing his net control to other as he's continuing to fix his shack up. And that's, of course, that's my buddy Jim, K6SOE in the Berg, Pittsburgh, that is. And, Jim, it is a great seeing you out there, my friend. And I'm trying to get your screen to cooperate here. Come on, baby. I got an icon. Okay, let's try this. K6SOE, KC6JPG.
All right. Well, I'm in there somewhere, guys. One of these little squares. So, all right. Well, good evening. Let's see. New news. I guess I've reported that the roof is on, the air conditioner is back running just fine. The wall board for the ceiling is scheduled to go up tomorrow, and we're ready for field day. We're going to have the ATV van out at the Olympic High School, and I'll be checking in and out of Whereby occasionally, so stay tuned for updates there, or watch the repeater on BAPC. So anyway, that's about all we've got here from the Berg. K6SOE, sign on.
K6SOE, KC6JPG. Very good, Jim. Well, looking forward to seeing hopefully some video of your field day efforts, especially in your ATV vehicle. And hopefully you'll be able to run your air conditioner during the field day. Ooh, that would be nice. Exactly. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show you guys of our great group here. Look at this. Another brick in the wall.
Yeah. So I figured that Rod had the background effect on the whereby. And
well, with his iris closed, that's why he couldn't get into the through his wall, basically.
Well,
he hit the wall. Oh my gosh, that's just too funny. Very. Right, exactly. Well, speaking of, we got David out there, KB4 ICU, out there in Florida as well. So, hey, Dave, grow your picture, my friend. Uh-oh, I just lost my whereby system. Jeez, hold on a minute. I got to reset here. So, anyway, so here's what I'm going to do. As I'm resetting, what I'm going to do is Don is on tonight. How come I can't say his call sign? I don't know why. Don Wilbanks, AE5, there you go, AE5DW for this week's edition of Amateur Radio Newsline.
From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2381, this is Ham Nation Headlines for Wednesday, June 21st, 2023. Our top story this week takes us to Guyana. That's the location a young quartet of de-expeditioners has its collective eye on.
Their trip has been years in the making, and now, with the travel precautions of the pandemic behind them, a team of de-expeditioners all in their 20s is finally free to travel to their destination, Guyana. Four friends, Jamie M0SDV, Philip DK6SP, Tommy HA8RT, and Sven DJ4MX are young. Sven is 21, team co-leader Jamie is 22, Tommy is 24, and co-leader Philip is 25. They have not yet been assigned a call sign. The Northern California DX Foundation said it has given the team a $5,000 grant as a way of encouraging the next generation of adventuring amateurs. The group's website will be updated regularly to keep DX hunters apprised and, of course, to encourage others to support the DXpedition. See the text version of this week's newscast on our website, arnewsline.org, to find a link to the DXpedition. This is Jeremy Bucci for NJH.
A member of the Newsline family has been honored for mentoring youth in amateur radio. Anchor Paul Brown fills us in.
Newsline is always pleased to share news of radio amateurs who have received recognition for their contributions to the community. But we are never more proud than one of those being honored is a member of our own team. Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG, an anchor and correspondent for Newsline, has received the YASME Excellence Award from the YASME Foundation for his years of work with the next generation of ham radio operators. Neil provided the initial Radio Club sponsorship for the Region 2 YOTA camps, which he now serves as manager, providing administrative assistance for the camps as a nonprofit. He has also served as manager of Hamvention's Ham Radio 2.0 showcase. The Foundation Board of Directors issued a statement saying that, quote, recruiting young operators is key to the survival of amateur radio, and his tireless efforts are appreciated, end quote. The award consists of an engraved crystal globe and a cash grant of $500. Neil, we here at Newsline can only add our own congratulations and sincere appreciation for all that you do.
Any ham who remembers hearing or perhaps working the call sign Juliet Yankee 1, King Hussein of Jordan, will enjoy hearing this next story.
The UK radio equipment once used by King Hussein of Jordan, JY1, is being donated to the Radio Society of Great Britain by Her Majesty Queen Noor of Jordan. King Hussein became a silent key in 1999 at the age of 63. The RSGB said the collection will be on permanent display at the RSGB's National Radio Centre to inspire others and promote friendship and understanding across cultures. They said in a statement, His Majesty was a great ambassador for amateur radio, and whenever his official duties allowed him, his radio call sign JY1 could be heard on the amateur bands. His Majesty always operated modestly, never announcing himself as King Hussein, always just Hussein from Jordan. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news since 1976 at arnewsline.org. With Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, Paul Brown, WD9GCO, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe, I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW. 7-3. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation. On Ham Nation. On Ham Nation.
And thank you so much, Don, for this week's edition of Amateur Radio Newsline. We really appreciate you coming in. All right, let's continue on with check-ins. And we have Dave on with us, KB4 ICU. Dave, it's great to see you tonight, my friend. And how's everything on your end of the woods? KC6JPG, net control. Net control. Net control. Net control. There we go. Now we can hear you.
Computer today. I just popped in, just say hi. Hope everyone's doing well. Keeping busy. Finally found a use for a HF antenna that my HOA had me take out of my backyard. So finally made a mount for that. So I can be using that as a temporary antenna. But
I'm gonna give us on
down
this
here, and really not a whole lot going on. It's about midnight, but again, I just wanted to pop in, say hi to everybody, see how everyone's doing, and I'll let it go back to the net. And have a great evening.
KB4ICU, KC6JPG. Very good, my friend. Thank you very much, Dave, for checking in with us. And looks like you're having a lot of fun doing a little flying simulation. And just kind of let you know, I'm kind of dressing up myself for ATC on Flight Simulator. So we have a great little network of ATC controllers out there. And hopefully I'll be able to work you as you're flying around the world. That would be really cool. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, I passed the so-called certification, and I guess I'm sane enough. I won't risk anyone out there flying around in the flight simulators out there in the world. Looking forward to doing that. All right. Those are the check-ins that I have it. Let's go back to RF. Any late member, missed members, any visitors that like to check in with the Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net, come in at this time. KC6 JPG Net Control.
Oh, there I am. Yeah, Roland, I just learned a bit of information, a little bit more here. Do I have time right now?
WB6HYH, KC6JPG. Sound, hey, bring it on back, my friend. You got the air.
Okay. Yeah, just a few minutes ago, you might have seen me with the headphones on. I was talking to a station down in New Zealand. I was listening around on the band on 20 meters here, and I actually heard about 3 stations on the band, and one of them was a New Zealand station calling CQ. So I put the headphones on, tuned up the amplifier, and gave him a call, and came back to me right away and said he was wondering if there was anybody else on the band, because he says the bands have been really bad lately. And I said, yeah, they sure have. And so anyways, he gave me a nice little report, said I was about 5'7" down there in New Zealand, and he was about 5 to 6 here, and completely understandable, no noise on the band or anything. And he was informing me that last Sunday night they had one of the biggest Aurora events that they've ever had down there in the New Zealand or South Pole area, I guess. And he said ever since then the bands have been completely dead. He says it must have just interrupted all kinds of atmospheric stuff up there in the the atmosphere, and just ruined the bands for propagation. But he says it was an amazing Aurora event that happened. He said it was last Sunday night, and but he says the bands just haven't been operational since then. But by the time he and I got done talking, I heard another 2 or 3 stations on the band. So hopefully, maybe they're going to start recovering from that Aurora, and might have a chance to get a hold of Mike yet. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep listening for him, and if I hear him, I'll be recording it, and we'll play it on the net. But at least he had some kind of an explanation down there from New Zealand. So let's see. His call was, let's see, where did I put it here? Oh yeah, it was Zulu Lima 3 Tango Tango was his call sign. His name was Blue. He said like the blue sky. So anyways. Okay, that's all I got. Just some interesting information, and I'll turn it back to you there, Roland. WB6HYH, Rancho Cucamonga.
WB6HYH, KC6JPG. Well, very good, Tom. Well, wow, if you got New Zealand, there's a great chance that you might be able to pick up Mike. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. We'll keep our hands clasped, and hopefully we'll make a contact. You'll get it recorded, and boy, will that be cool. That would be really cool. That'd be historic, and we'll get that on the new website, too. The historic contact of VP, what's that called? VP... I can't remember. All I know is VP something MC.
VP6.
Oh, very good. Thanks, Dennis. Thanks, Tom. I saw you coming in there. Very good. Well, looking forward to hearing that. And yeah, well, wow. Sounds like you said, we're having some solar events and aurora activities. So sounds like it's definitely hushing up the bands and causing all kinds of propagation problems. So hopefully that will all clear up, and hopefully before field day. Today's Tuesday, so it got another 4 days to clean itself up. So we'll hope that. Yes, Jim, go ahead.
I don't have the capability, but what if you check the solar wind site for propagation prediction for the weekend?
Well, probably the best way to do it is check out Tamitha Scove with the solar weather report, space weather woman. So maybe you can check her out on YouTube. She's on YouTube, and got probably some updated information regarding the upcoming weekend, especially with Field Day. So you might want to check her out.
Roland, when that happens, the aurora, you could try to higher bands like 2 meters and 6 meters also on sideband. You can get aurora skip.
Well, very good, Manuel. Yeah, you're exactly right. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be an interesting 4 days. And like I said, just watch the propagation reports and definitely check out Tabitha Scove. She is definitely knowledgeable when it. So, you see. You got it. Should be band
open.
opens.
You can also use the online web SDRs and use their receivers and check the bands and their scope. You can watch to see how busy the bands are. That's what I use a lot.
Exactly. All right. Any last minute comments before we close net and we go to our Whereby Roundtable? KC6JPG, net control. All right, this has been the Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net. And let me tell you, my friends, for those that are watching on YouTube, definitely hit that subscribe button. Last time I checked, we had 799 subscribers now. Yes, we're only one away from that big shiny 800. So, and of course, 201 away from the big 1,000. So that would be really, really cool. And of course, for those that are watching on YouTube, you are seeing a demonstration of what we can do as amateur operators by connecting our chapter stations, our chapter ATV stations, and other operators throughout the world when a disaster comes, and basically supporting the greater good. It's the greater numbers of our amateur radio operators that come in for the greater good of our general public to make sure that health and safety and welfare communications are well established in an event of any kind of an emergency, whether it be fire, flood, earthquake, or any other natural disaster, and sometimes man-made disasters too. We're called in when needed. You got it. I'm Roland, KC6JPG, saying without you, there would not be a net. The famous words of Bob, W8ARZ, who is well missed, and a silent key as well. Take care, 73. And for those that are going to participate in Field Day, have a fantastic time. And remember, the 3 letters, F-U-N, have a lot of fun. That's right. So just have a lot of fun. Just be safe out there and just make lots of contacts. And just with the camaraderie with your club or group or even by yourself in your shack, with the camaraderie of your amateur radio fraternity out there. Have a lot of fun. The repeaters are now returned for their normal use. We'll see you on Whereby. I'm Roland, KC6, JPG. Clear.